Hi, Karen Miller here, owner and founder of Tenkara. And today I'm going to walk you through a really quick and dirty preview of just what a Tenkara rod is, how it functions, and the different parts of it. So this is our Zen Sagi rod. It is a single length rod, meaning it fishes at only one length. In the Tenkara world, there are such things as rods that fish at multiple lengths. Those rods are referred to as zoom or tri-zoom rods. A zoom rod fishes at 2 lengths. A tri-zoom fishes at 3 lengths. So this is a single length rod, and the rod collapses all the sections. So this is a 13.5-foot rod. You would never know it. The back end of Tenkara rods unscrew, and all the sections, put this in a safe spot, come out of the back of the handle. And you can see it's like a Russian nesting doll. All of the pieces fit and nest inside one another. This is also how you clean and maintain the rod, or if you have a break, it's very easy to repair a Tenkara rod because all you're doing is removing the section that is damaged or broken and replacing that single section. So we're going to screw the butt cap back in, make sure it's nice and snug so we don't lose any of those parts. Now, because those pieces sit inside in a specific order, it's very important when you open the rod or extend the rod that you do it from smallest section to largest section so that each piece is properly snugged up against the next and that the pieces don't come out of order. When you're collapsing the rod, you're going to do this completely opposite and collapse from the largest section on up to the smallest section again so that each piece is fitting inside the next. So I'm going to remove my cap, and you never want to dump the Tenkara rod over or pretend it's a lightsaber and swing it out in front of you, because again, there's a risk that those sections come out of order and then it's going to create a jam, and while it can be fixed and corrected, you're at risk at possibly damaging or breaking one of the sections in the process. So I'm going to hold the rod in one hand, use my other hand to cover that end and just tip it over slightly so that I get this red Lillian comes out and my tip section, okay? And so this is my smallest, most delicate section, and it is the first section of the rod. On Zen Tenkara rods, we have swivel tips so that this end section rotates, and that helps reduce tangles and helps your line lay out nicer. I also think it helps reduce additional tension on the tip if there is a change of direction or when you're playing or managing a fish. So with my right hand, I am just taking my fingers and just holding them along that section as I pull this front piece out. And as I drag my fingers along the section, I can feel this first joint. If you can see, it's very small, okay? And this is where we get breaks often because people don't realize that this is 2 separate pieces. And I can pull out, and I would continue to pull the rod out section by section. You'll notice I'm dragging my fingers along the sections of the rod. I'm not yanking on them hard because I don't want to jam the pieces or have them sit too tightly, but I'm just making sure that they're snug and each section is fully extended all the way to the last section. And that is a Tenkara rod fully extended. Okay, if I want to collapse the rod, as I said before, I'm going to be working backwards. So to open it, you start from the smallest section and you work your way to the last biggest section. When you collapse the rod, you're going to do just the opposite. I'm going to take the section right above the handle and press it down, press it down, press it down. And as I'm doing that, all the pieces are fitting inside one another. Now this last section, the first two sections that I said are the most delicate, you always want to be careful when collapsing this. I like to put the rod between my knees or under my arm, and I'm going to hold just above the joint and just below the joint very closely when I'm collapsing these two pieces and press. If I try to collapse it from up here, because this is such a flexible piece, chances are I'm going to snap this section. So always hold that tip section very close to the joint and collapse it, and then your rod is completely put away. All right, and that is how a Tenkara rod works.